Okay, testing. This is Kilo Pop for Mike Delta. Do I have audio?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody interested in serving as net control today?
Carol, I'd offer, but I don't think my voice will hold out.
Yeah, okay, not a problem. I'm just going to bring up the script here. I just got the YouTube set up. Let's bring up the script just a moment.
B4MDK6YLA. If you could let me know what mode you're in, because I can't transmit in like PD120. Certain things won't go, so I need to find one like Martin or Scotty or something that will work.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we could do that, not a problem. I guess for tonight we won't do PD120 then to accommodate Kayla. Very good evening. This is Carol, Kayla Pop for Mike Delta, your net control operator for the River City ARCS slow scan television net. This net serves for training and practice in image transmission modes and meets Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time on the N6NA repeater on 441.30 megahertz, and we're also live streaming our YouTube channel for the River City ARCS. River City ARCS members and all licensed radio amateurs are welcome to participate. If you wish to join the net or need to make a call anytime, please announce your call sign between transmissions and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact the net control by saying break break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or traffic move to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before I continue. So far we have Kilo Alpha 6, Yankee Lima Alpha, Kayla, and November 6, Yankee Golf acknowledged as checked in. Are there any other stations that wish to check in at this time? Please come now.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec.
Yeah, okay, we got November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec. That's Bob up in Roseville. Any others?
November 6, Hotel Alpha, Bill and Rosso.
Okay, Bill, November 6, Hotel Alpha. Anyone else? Okay, I'm putting myself in as number 5, Kilo Pop for Mike Delta. Okay, so the thing is, tonight we have Kayla, and Kayla, I believe, is using a system that does not have PD120. So we need to use a mode other than PD120. The one that we routinely used to use was Martin 1, but if anybody has any others, we could certainly try that as well. So let's go to the top of the list. I tell you what, let's go with George first. November 6 Yankee Golf. Do you have a picture? If so, please go ahead and send it over.
Just barely got me. All right, let's see. Trying to get a picture ready. Bump this up a little bit. And sure, why not? Let's see if I'm going to send this MR90 because I already sent one MR90 to Kayla, and I believe she got it. So let's there it is. All right, N6YG. Let me see if I have tone.
Yes, you have a good tone. Go ahead. Okay, very good. Thank you for sending that picture, George. Let's go over to Kayla. See, how did you receive that picture and what can you comment on it? Over.
K6YLA. I have N6YG, says SSTV. Oh, okay. I was in the wrong place. Okay, now I have it. Yeah, it turned out really nice. I like that. Little tripod and telescope, I think.
Okay, thank you, Kayla, for that. And Bob, N6PGQ, how did you receive that? And any comments on that? Over.
Quality is really good. Very few pixel pops. We have a reflector telescope on a tripod, and looks like someone's backyard, and nice green grass, and I don't know what kind of plant that is, an oleander or something like that up in the upper left hand, and then the fence behind the telescope, and the quality is really good. And someone's going to have to tell me what mode I should transmit in next time. So back to you, Net, N6PGQ.
Okay, thank you. We'll send it back over to George, and you can fill us in on what this picture is, please. KP4MD.
Well, good evening, Carol and the Net. That is a giant Meade LX200 10-inch SCT scope. I've been drooling after one of those for many, many decades, but for some reason could never manage to convince myself to shell out the $6,000 that scope costs new. There's a story behind this. I picked this up off Facebook Marketplace. I just happened to be on Marketplace when this, it popped up and said new listings. Okay, I refreshed it, and here was this telescope, and the guy wanted $250 for it, and I'm like, oh, it's got to be a scam. And so I fired off an email real quick, and he responded, and I found out what it was, but he told me the same thing that all these guys always do. Well, the first person here to get it, the first person here with cash gets it. He was all the way up in Grass Valley. I said, I'm not going to drive all the way up to Grass Valley just for an off chance it's going to be there. So I offered to PayPal him $25 to hold it till the next morning, and he agreed. And then the next morning he's texting me, he says, hey, damn it, I should have done my research on this. He says, I'm getting hundreds of emails from people telling me I'm selling it too cheap. But to make a long story short, he not only honored his agreement, but I talked him down to $150 on this scope. which I could probably turn around and sell today for $2,500 if I wanted to, and it would probably sell overnight.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Yes, I've heard, the latest I heard about Marketplace on Facebook is that there's an awful lot of scams there. So you were very, very fortunate, and congratulations on being able to get this at such a wonderful price. Do we have any other comments on this now, KP from D?
I have one quick comment. You know, particular scope in a 10-inch, I have the 8-inch already, and I always wanted the 10-inch. And I just realized that just the telescope weighs 75 pounds, so I can't even manage it by myself with my back the way it is now.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you were able to get it, and I'm sure it's going to give you lots of much pleasure using, looking at the sky. Um, I guess it would probably also work for your neighborhood watch as well, but kind of overkill. Um, let's go to the next one in the list here. I'm going to ask Kayla if you're ready to send a picture. We're ready to receive. Over.
Okay, I have to change modes because the TX doesn't come up. Okay, now I have TX. Now I have to figure out where my picture is. Oh gosh. Blah, 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 blah. Does anybody know where I just marked it in photos to send? Maybe if I just hit send, it'll do it. Hang on, maybe. Switch to Martin 1. Try to send it.
We're not getting any transmission yet. We're still waiting. For some reason, it's not transmitting. Huh. Oh, okay, George N6YG, were you helping Kayla to get that set up to transmit? Maybe you can help here. Over.
Yeah, well, I got lucky and this program actually is running. It's been doing nothing but crashing for me. So Kayla, there's a receive and a transmit button. So if you click on the transmit button across the top, so right across the top it says receive, transmit, editor, setup, all that stuff. And it crashed. Click on the transmit button or the transmit tab, and you can select your sound card output. It's right there on the on the, what do you call it, the right-hand side. I have to look down at my hand. The right-hand side, and you'll see where it says sound output. You can select your sound card output, and there's also a slider right there underneath it, and you can move that up and down to get your volume level going. And to get the picture you want to transmit, all you have to do is open up a file browser and drag and drop a picture right into it, like the one that you had originally sent me.
Well, thank you. That picture came across, Kayla. You did very well. And looks like the rig you're using right now, that 440 FM rig, um, putting out a good signal. Let's go over to Bill. November 6 Hotel Alpha. How did you get that picture? Oh, and by the way, Craig, Whiskey Papa 2 November is watching us on live chat on the YouTube channel tonight. So over to you, Bill. N6HA, KP from D.
Yeah, really good copy here for acoustic coupling. That's really good copy. There's pixel pops, but not that many actually. So pretty good copy here. There's the bottom portion. There's a weird artifact where my MMS TV just decided to stop rendering, but left it in the image. So maybe like the last few lines there looks like there's weird artifacts. But yeah, good photo here. I don't really know what I'm looking at. So it looks like they look like light bulbs, but maybe they're actually vacuum tubes and red sockets on the upper portion of this thing. And on the bottom, there's a series of knobs. The one on the left is missing a knob, but I see 1, 2, 3 knobs elsewhere. And yeah, I have no idea what this is. I assume it's some kind of radio, but I've never seen one with the tubes so lined up in a row like that before. So I'm interested to hear what this is and what it does. And 6HA.
Okay, thank you very much for that accurate description of what you saw, Bill. We'll go back up to George, N6YG. How did you get that picture, and what do you make of it? Over.
For acoustic coupling, it came over real well. And I am not sure what I am looking at in this picture. You'd think I'd... Yeah, they look like tubes, especially if you look at the one on the left here, the far left. The others are silvered, they're hard to see through, but they don't look like tube sockets, so that's kind of confusing me. It doesn't look like a tube socket. Arrows, I don't know. Kayla's gonna have to tell me what that is. It's a very interesting picture, but it came over good. There's quite a few pixel pops in mine. And interesting enough, this software is really good at removing those when you apply the filters. So, and Kayla's name or call sign across the middle came across. So yeah, she did a great job considering that it's acoustically coupled. So back to net N6YG.
Okay, very good. It's KP4MD, and yeah, the last 6 lines or so on the bottom are just a bunch of color spots, and I think that's where the picture ended before the end of the scan, and it was just decoding noise there. So over to you, Kayla. Could you please explain to us what this picture is? KA6YLA is KP4MD.
Hey, KP4MD in the group. Well, it is a handmade radio of some sort. I have no idea. It's got to be back in the era of, what, 1920 or something. I'm not sure. Those are tubes along the bottom or across the whole thing. Somebody suggested I take a picture of the front. I don't know why I didn't. I figured that any knowledgeable ham would, of course, know what this is and tell me what it is. But it's a handmade something and very old, and I just was fascinated by its look and, you know, and just wonder who made it kind of thing. Like, who spent all this time doing this, and we don't even know what it is. Okay. But at any rate, I'm glad you saw it. Okay, back to net, KE6YLA.
Okay, thank you for that description. Yes, I recognize the tubes on the top there. They're silver. That's just the getter compound in there to eliminate any residual gas in there after the evacuation of the tube. Some of the older tubes had more of that getter material there on the coating the inside. And it looks like what's on the bottom there may be some variable capacitors, variable potentiometers, and it's really kind of hard to tell what those big things are. There might be, the ones on the left might be inductors or maybe even a dynamotor or something. I have no idea. There is a coil between the two tubes on the left, and it looks like it's got two sets of windings there. And it may actually have a coil inside it, which has a variable, coupling if you rotate it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what the word for that is, goniometer or something, variometer. They use, I know they use that sort of thing with low frequency radios. So we have any other final comments about this before we proceed, KP4MD? Okay, nothing heard. Let's go to next in the list here, which would be Bob, N6PGQ. If you have a picture, we're ready to receive it. Over.
Okay, well, I have a picture that I was going to use in PD120, and every time I choose a different mode, it shrinks it down so that it's about a quarter of the size of the picture. So I may just send it PD120 and apologize to Kayla.
I have a question. It says AirPlay, and it says either check iPhone or speaker. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Well, I'll send this, and hopefully you can switch back and forth and see if it decodes N6PGQ.
Okay, thank you very much for that picture. Bob will go to, let's see, Kayla, K6YLA. Did you get any picture from that at all on PD120? Over.
No, I don't think so. I was bouncing around trying to find any mode that would show that I was receiving something. I'm getting a lot of bars of green. I think that's probably me speaking. Yeah, I couldn't get it to receive anything.
Okay, so Bob, you know that Kayla's Black Cat software doesn't have the decoder for that mode, so she couldn't get that. How about you, Bill? Case N6HA. How did you receive that, and any comments about it? Over.
Yeah, good copy here. I think I only see 2 pixel pops maybe, so yeah, really good copy. Yeah, it looks like Bob maybe went to the river. Looks like a bunch of paddle boats that look like swans. So that's kind of interesting. I've never seen that form factor before of paddle boat. Usually they look a little more basic and have an awning too, because you're out there on the lake. You don't really want to get sunburnt. So yeah, that's interesting that they made it look like a bird. I wonder if you can even sit 2 people in these, because they don't look awfully wide, and half the fun is finding with the person that you're with to try to turn. So yeah, those are kind of cool. I don't know where this is at. It looks like a river maybe, but I could be wrong. So I'm wondering where these are, and did Bob get in one of these? N6HA.
Okay, George, how did you get this picture, and any comments on it? Over.
Picture came over relatively well. I've got some lines in it, but other than that, very few pixel pops. Yeah, these are those swan paddle boats for, newlyweds and lovers to go out and paddle around in, or kids. We got a wood dock, foam wood dock. Pilings are interesting. They're awfully tall. You see pilings like that in the ocean, where you have really, or in reservoirs where you see very large swings in water level. Usually on ponds and lakes, you don't see really tall pilings, and you definitely don't see markings on it. You can see the moss and sea life markings going up about 3 feet on that as well, which kind of indicates a tidal area. So that's interesting. So it's either a reservoir or a lake that sees some tidal shifting. It could be the ocean. Those boats are in ocean going. And Kayla, a black cat does decode PD-120 on the receive pane. Make sure that auto. There's 2 auto buttons there. One is for auto detective mode. The other is for auto start. And those should both be checked. And you might have to slide your audio slider up a little bit, your receive slider up a little bit for your volume, or turn the radio volume up just a little bit louder so it catches that viz. That's another thing. I can't get this software to run long enough to remember if it has a setting for viz or sync. It should do both for syncing to the mode and auto starting on it. So once I get the software actually running on my computer without crashing, I'll see if I can check that for you. All right, back to Ned.
Okay, back over to you, Bob. Can you explain to us what these are and where it was done? By the way, excellent picture of quality to me. I hardly see any pixel pops. Over.
Okay, Carol and the net, thanks for the comment. These swans are right out the front door of the convention center at Seaside, Oregon. And I was at the CPAC convention last weekend and happened to see these silly swans and took a picture, and so I decided I'd send it to everybody. Yeah, they have room for 2, and the little lagoon empties right into the ocean, so there is some tidal action there. N6PGQ.
I was right.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that excellent picture. Let's take a pause and see, do we have any other stations that would like to join us here on the Slow Scan TV Nets KP4MD? Okay, nothing heard. Now we go down the list. Next station to send a picture is Bill, November 6 Hotel Alpha. Please send a picture. We're going to try to avoid PD-120 for the time being because we're not sure Kayla is set up to receive it. Over.
Yeah, roger that. You have one queued up as Martin 1, and had trouble fitting it in the frame, so we'll see how well you guys receive this. Martin 1, N6HA.
Okay, this is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta. Thank you for sending that picture, Bill. And we're going to go over to Kayla. Give her a chance to give a report. How did you receive that picture, and what do you see there, Kayla? K6YLA from KP4MD.
Well, KB4MD, KA6YLA, I didn't get anything. For some reason, it never, I never got the receive button to engage. So I kept hitting start, and then I hit stop and start again to see if it would turn on, and then it would say, you know, VIS start or whatever, we're waiting for it, and I couldn't get that to engage. So I don't know whether it's crashing or I'm just not setting it up right, but I did not receive anything.
Okay, George, do you have any suggestions for Kayla?
Black Cat software is very sensitive to the Viz start code, so she's doing what she can with manually starting it, doing the acoustic coupling. All she can really do is just get the radio as loud as she can and the microphone as close as she can in order so it can pick up that start code. Kayla, if it doesn't pick up the start code, you just need to manually select the mode that's being transmitted and hit start and just let it run. So you're doing about the best you can. N6YG.
That's pretty much what I did. KA6YLA.
Okay, let's go to Bob, N6PGQ. What did you copy, and how did it come in? Over.
Well, the picture came in real well here. Very few pixel pops. They're noticeable in the brown of the desk. It looks like this is two different pictures at once of an ICOM dual band transceiver, and I can't exactly read the model number off on the right side of it, but it looks like the display can be modified so that you can have different colors on the display, and that may be what it's indicating. Be interested to hear the story, N6PGQ.
Okay, Bill, N6HA, you sent this picture, so I can't ask you about it. But N6YG, what do you make of this picture, and how did it come into you? Over.
I got the image relatively well, and yeah, this is an ICOM dual bander 2000 series, I think. I forgot the exact model number. These were good little radios. And these ICOMs did have adjustable back colors, I think. I know that I had a very similar model that did. You can go between green and amber, and which is what he did. And it's got some burn-in. There is at least in the amber screen, it looks like it's not all that healthy. Maybe direct sunlight damaged it or something. Seems to be doing better on the green screen, but you can kind of still see a little bit of the outline from the burn-in a little bit. So I'm not sure if Bill's going to attempt to replace that screen, see if he can find a replacement for it, or what the story is. So we'll send it back over to Bill, N6YG.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill. Please tell us about this.
Yeah, good guesses all around. This is my latest Hamfest find. It's an ICOM IC2820H. It's a dual band mobile rig, and it could do D-Star if someone didn't take the D-Star module out of it already. So I got this thing for a steal. It cost me less than I could count on one hand, but it didn't turn on. So I like to have a project radio, and I don't normally do mobiles, but the price is right. So I knew the screen was really damaged looking from it. When it was even off, you could tell the screen looked like a lizard skin. It was so wrinkled and burnt. But when I got it home, I didn't have a cable for it, so I had to make the cable, and it wouldn't turn on. And I figured out it was a 1 ohm resistor, a high wattage 1 ohm resistor on the main board that needed to be resoldered. So I fixed that, and then there was a few other things on the control thing that had to be fixed also. So I had to replace, they have chokes, they have SMD chokes, so I replaced those. But this was my attempt at actually fixing the polarization film on the screen. So I was able to peel off the old polarization film, clean it relatively well, the actual LCD screen, with some alcohol and a razor blade, and I got it pretty smooth. But then I put the old polarization film back on it just to see if it works. So that's the result of the green, is the old polarization film. So I've ordered some more film, and I hope to replace it and get this thing back to its formal glory. I still need to find the DSAR module, and the right knob is actually broken. That's $9 from ICOM. The screen from ICOM is almost $70, so we'll see if I can save some money. Anyways, it's nice to work on stuff like this. N6HA back to that.
Okay, thank you for sharing that explanation, Bill. And yes, I will attest, if you have a mobile rig with an LCD screen, and I think any other kind of an LED screen or anything, if you leave it in your vehicle, especially in weather like now, and sun hits it directly, it can cause some real damage. So it would be good to drape something over the screen to give it some protection, and will keep it from overheating. That would be a very wise thing to do. Or else you would have to do a complete replacement of the screen. And on an old model radio like this, it may be really difficult to find an exact replacement display for it. Any other comments before we go on? KP4MD. Okay, I would like to say welcome to Simon Lamonque, who is on the YouTube live chat. And Simon says, hello, I've just upgraded to my general. Congratulations on your general license. And that was the other day. And now Simon is working on getting amateur extra while he decides what transceiver to get. Very good. And certainly you can contact anybody, one of us. Of course, there's a lot of other forums online where you could ask people what transceiver to get. Everybody has their own preference. I'd say everybody has their own favorite. So you really need to check to see what the features are that match what your particular interests are, because everybody has different tastes. That's my personal saying about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and send a picture also, Martin 1. This is Kilo Papa 4, Mike Delta. Okay, okay, let's give Kayla a chance to see if she actually got to receive this Martin 1 picture of with what George advised. So Kayla, did you get a picture? How did you get it? And what do you make of it? Over.
Well, I've given up on Black Cat, and I went over to YouTube to see if I could pick it up streaming. So I'm not really sure if what I have here, we have met the enemy and he is us, is what I show on there. I don't know if that's correct for this evening or not.
Okay, well, yeah, what you see on YouTube is exactly what was sent out. Very good. Over to you, Bob, N6PGQ. Did you receive this picture and do you recognize what this is? Over.
Well, we have met the enemy and he is us, and we have a picture of Pogo with his hat flying off the back of his head, and a couple of characters down in the bottom left. The right guy's smoking a pipe, and looks like we've either got a horse or something like that in the bottom right, and Pogo's looking into a mirror. Few pixel pops, but good picture quality, and be interested to know where this came from, N6PGQ.
Okay, very good. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. This is, you're absolutely right. This is Pogo Possum. This was a comic strip that was popular. It was syndicated in the 1950s by a cartoonist named Walt Kelly. Now, he was a political cartoonist, so those caricatures, I think if you were aware of the different political figures of the time, you might be able to make out who they represent and who they're caricatures of. But he made some interesting political statements here, of course, probably talking about the infighting going on in American politics. Some profound statement here. So actually, a lot of the messages that he addressed perhaps can be applicable to our current state of affairs as well, where you could be your own worst enemy. So interesting. This is a cover of a book which is a compilation of his comic strips. His name is Walt Kelly, and I can remember very well as a child looking for these in the funny papers and not really getting too much about the understanding the political intent of what it was, but he had some interesting stories and the dialogue going on between Pogo Possum and the other swamp animals from the Okefenokee Swamp. That's where it was supposed to be. Do we have any other persons? Anybody else would like to make a comment about this? Over. Okay, okay, nothing heard. Well, we've done the entire, all four of us have sent pictures, and going back here to the YouTube channel, I see I'm looking at the message here. Simon says that he's looking for a HF advice on an HF transceiver. Well, I say he's deciding, not looking necessarily for advice. But like I mentioned, you have to look at what your particular interests are, portability, price, features, and there's just a whole bunch of reviews. And you have to be careful about the reviews because a lot of them are just pretty much advertisement, paid advertisement. So it's good to do some objective reviews and compare. Do some what they call comparative shopping and looking for people giving their I'm sorry. people giving their sponsorship, not their sponsorship, but their testimonies as to their experiences with it. And I usually, when I'm going to buy something, I'll go through a good number of these kind of reviews and just weigh the pros and the cons. But take your time. That's all I can say, so you don't make a mistake. So, anybody else with anybody want to send a picture before we close? I know, George, you'd like to send a closing picture since we're coming up to the top of the hour. This is KP4MD.
I'll send a picture to close it out. You ready?
Yeah, yes, please go ahead. Not PD120 though.
Martin 1.
Okay, thank you very much for sending that picture, George. And a very cute puppy. Came over very well with your puppy's little chicken toy. So, a very good evening to all. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will now proceed to close the net, if it's okay. This is Kilo Papa for Mike Delta. Thank you to everyone who participated in tonight's Slow Scan Television Net. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific Time. This net is now officially closed at 9:57 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. This is Carol, Kilo Pop for Mike Delta, wishing you all a very good evening and 73.
Thank you for doing the net tonight, Carol. Sorry I couldn't do net control. I was worried about my voice giving out in and out all night. So, and yes, that's again Rocky with his poor me puppy dog look. And now you know why he's spoiled. He gets whatever he wants. He just looks at you like that and melts your heart.
Yeah, that's really cute. K6 Wiley.
I'm sorry, Kayla, what did you say?
That is very cute. Thank you for sending it, and I'm sure he gets his way every time. Okay, have a nice evening. KA6YLA will be clear.
All right, before you go, Kayla, I was going to say we got to get you set up somehow so you're hardwired. That acoustic coupling is very difficult to do. with an HT. I told you there's a device, and I can't remember, doggone it, what the name of it is. It's on Amazon. I'll have to look it up. And it works really good with HTs. So.
Well, the other thing is I want to connect the Wi-Fi to Ethernet cable to go to the iMac, and also my sister got me the Roku for television. So I'm hoping to, create a system here where things will be better interconnected.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, Roku TV is lots of fun. I have a Roku TV in my bedroom. My son got me for, I think, Father's Day last year. Sorry, trying to move a little bit without making the pain noise on the radio. So, yeah, I can't. For some reason, I'm going to send an email off to the developers of Black Cat. I have never had any issue with their software ever. It's always run flawlessly, and all of a sudden, it won't stay running for more than 2 minutes without crashing with some sort of exception in memory error or something's going on with it. So the fact that yours is running and not crashing is at least a good sign.
It depends what you think is crashing, because I couldn't find a mode that would have the receive button light up, and so I kept going through the different modes trying to find something that I could receive. So I'm at least surprised that my picture got out, so that's good. But yeah, a lot of bugs to work out over here too. Okay, well, thank you, and let me know if you hear from them. And I got to get this whole system together. Having little parts here and there that aren't working is just not what I signed up for, so to speak. Okay, take care. I hope you feel better. And N6YG, K6YLA.
All right, one more thing before you go, Kayla. On the receive on that, nothing's going to light up. You've just got to, when they say they're sending in Martin 1, you select Martin 1 from the list and then just hit manual receive, and it'll just start receiving from the point that you hit that button, and it'll just keep going at that point. The software sends out a viz signal, like a sync signal, when an image first starts, and occasionally throughout it should try to resync, but if it misses that sync signal in the beginning, then it won't auto-receive. You have to manually do it, so that might be the issue. Let me know if you want me to send you a couple pictures later this week or whenever, and we'll practice with it again. So, yeah, it's 80 degrees in here still. The air conditioner in the back is running on full blast. I just ordered the new blower motor for the front air conditioner, and I am not looking forward to replacing that. I've